Sorry. Hello, everyone. My name is Mohammad Hassany, and today my co-author and I are here to present our work on human AI co-creation of work example for programming classes. So for the motivation, we have already seen work example in programming textbook, which have a problem statement, a solution code, and a bunch of explanation that describe how the solution code addresses the problem statement. And they are used to teach new topics or concept to the students. The traditional form provide a very passive form of learning. That's why researchers motivated to create interactive tools. Although instructors can create, reuse examples from created by others, they somehow prefer to use their own. So although there are other solutions for creating work example, here in our work we present an alternative approach for addressing the lack of work example based on a human collaboration. Instructors provide the problem statement and solution code, and LLM are used to generate the explanation, and then those explanations can be reviewed by the instructors. To support and explore this approach, we created a authoring tool with ChatGPT support that created examples can be reused and shared. Among different systems, we used PCX as our target model for creating the authoring tools. Since in the PCX, it elevates the example study process to interactive and constructive level of ICAP framework. So in case of using LLM for code explanation, there has been multiple research exploring using LLMs for generating code explanations, which are used to generate explanation for different levels. And usually these evaluations are done by authors and the students and tool authors, which were positive, with minor reported issues that can be fixed by the instructors and TAs. As an important part of working with LLMs, different prompting techniques were also discussed and used. And as we can see, the research in this specific area also suggests a human AI collaboration for explanation generation. For our studies, we use specifically GPT 3.5 turbo model for generating the explanations. We performed three feasibility studies to evaluate the generated explanation and the idea of human AI collaboration. So in the first study, guided by previous LLM research for code generation, we tried and tested different prompt and evaluated their explanation to see and find the best performing prompt for this task. So we observed that including problem statement in the prompt result in more correct explanations. And if we iteratively prompt for example, ChatGPT, no new explanation or improvement is available beyond the second iteration. We also considered including line inclusion and exclusion criteria in the prompt, but we find out that that doesn't make much difference in the result. In our second study, we compared the expert ChatGPT and a student explanation in case of readability and similarity, and we found out that expert and ChatGPT explanation is first twice the length of the student explanations. But despite the size difference, expert explanation and student explanation are more similar to each other, have better readability, and in case of similarity, they are more similar to each other than compared with ChatGPT. In our third study, in a comparative evaluation, we compared the ChatGPT and expert explanations, and we observed that ChatGPT explanation are rated as more complete and judged to be better than expert explanation. So based on our feasibility study, we concluded that although ChatGPT generated explanations are rated positive, in some cases they're not as good as expert explanation. Also, instructors can phrase their explanation closer to the student's active vocabulary. In that case, it would be beneficial for the ChatGPT explanation to be reviewed by the instructor before being presented to the students. That was why we created the Human AI Co-Creation Interface. We call it WIT, Work Example Authoring Tool, which you can see on the left. We have the authoring interface. The instructor provides the problem statement and the code, and on the right, they can use the ChatGPT to generate the explanation. In our evaluation, we engaged 5 instructors, and we observed that some instructors use the generated explanation as is, while others refine those explanations. And overall, half of the generated explanation were used without being changed, and 27%, another 27% also being used with some edits. As we can see, it suggests saving a lot of instructors' time. Edits include summarization, adding missing information, or removing repeated, unnecessary details. And it's also important to note that almost half of the edits are because of the missing authoring support, which was in the tool. And to conclude, that we can see that ChatGPT generated explanation would benefit from being reviewed by the instructor before being presented to the students. Our tool facilitated creating a work example, and with ChatGPT it provided a human AI collaboration opportunity where instructor provide the problem statement and the code, and ChatGPT generate the explanation, and instructor has the control to review, edit them, and use them. And due to the instructor limited time and availability, our evaluation is relatively small as the number of created examples. We identified potential improvement for the next version, and we are planning to do semester-long studies with by engaging more instructors. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions?
Yes, please.
Yeah. One quick question.
Sure.
Did you explicitly in the prompt, by the way, very nice talk. Did you explicitly in the prompt have the GPT respond in a vocabulary appropriate for the students at that education level?
No, we didn't. In the prompt, we didn't specify that, but main part of our prompt was that we highlighted the problem statement more. So we asked that, given the program description, which is the problem statement, generate this explanation following a specific.
Yeah, I'd strongly urge telling it to use the vocabulary. It's very good at that.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I know this focuses a lot on the instructor. Do you have any plans or thoughts on trying to understand how it affects the students?
Yeah. So first, since this authoring is an authoring issue, with instructor doesn't have the time to create work example, we are trying to first address that. But in our future, we're planning to see how these instructor revised ChatGPT explanation are being evaluated by a student.
Okay. Great. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.